Welcome to Wyoming. It's Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving. We're in pursuit of a Wyoming whitetail. Got the TC Icon. Thompson Center's new bolt-action Icon rifle. Let me tell you, it works. Shot a great deer in Montana yesterday. I'm hunting with Mike Watkins, Trophies Plus Outfitters. Mike's camp sits right on the Montana-Wyoming border. So yesterday morning we hunted Montana and I shot a great buck with the Icon. Cameraman Lance Tangen and I bow hunted here, actually right in this very area, back in early September. Had encounters with several good bucks back then. It was shirt sleeve weather then. As you can tell, it's cooled off. We've got snow, below zero wind chills. It's just getting late now. We're going to sit till about 10 o'clock this morning. Hopefully shoot us a good Wyoming buck and then go back and have turkey and watch the Packers play. Stay tuned. We're in pursuit of a good deer here in Wyoming.
About an hour after daylight, these does walk into view. It's the peak of the Wyoming rut, so I'm hoping that a shooter buck will be trailing along behind them. And only a few minutes later, a buck does appear. But I know this property, and I'm confident we can do better.
Happy Thanksgiving. Right on cue, we've got a flock of Merriam turkeys here in northeast Wyoming, right where we're hunting, singing us the Thanksgiving serenade. What happened is it's not even 1 o'clock in the afternoon and we're coming out to sit in a blind overlooking a alfalfa field, and we get here and it's already covered up in deer. We thought we saw one pretty good buck, and guide Tom Baker and cameraman Lance Tangen and I decided what we're going to do is sneak up this creek bottom behind us here, behind Lance, and see if we can get a closer look at some of these bucks. One of them looked like a pretty good deer, but we're going to check it out. We got to be careful because we know there's deer in this creek bottom as well. But come on along. We're in pursuit of a good whitetail here in Wyoming. Trophies Plus Outfitters, brother.
Now, as I said, we have to be extremely careful because we know that there are deer in the creek bottom. And in fact, we make it less than 75 yards before we run head on into some rut action.
That's a small one.
Lance and I are trying to get to a water tank located along the edge of the creek bottom, but we must make sure we don't spook any deer as we're making our way to the tank. Just minutes after we get to the water tank, this good-looking buck walks out of the creek bottom and heads for the alfalfa.
See a shooter. He's darn close. Well, here's what happened. We had that buck. We thought he was a shooter in the creek bottom here. Tom looked at him and said, "I think he's a young deer, Greg." So you saw what happened. He came right out of the creek bottom and here comes a good buck, Lance. Here comes a good buck across that pog field. Way out there, here he comes. Good buck coming. Good buck coming, buddy. It's a good deer. He's coming on the run. Look at him. He's coming right to this alfalfa field. Looks like a big long-tined 8-pointer. Here he comes. Ready?
Yep. One down right up there.
Gonna go down. Down.
Well, here's the deal. We're here in Wyoming. It's Thanksgiving afternoon. Hunting with Mike Watkins, Trophies Plus Outfitters, got our trusty guide, Tom Baker. We got here, there was already a bunch of deer here.
Yep.
So we had game plan B.
1:30 in the afternoon.
1:30 in the afternoon, and we're done. It's Thanksgiving afternoon.
Oh.
Should we go look at him?
We should at least take a look.
Well, we're about 100 yards inside the woods here, where we actually thought the deer dropped right after we went over that last rise where Lance had him on film. He went over a little rise there between two big pines, and we thought we saw him tip over. He didn't. He also wasn't bleeding much. In fact, he wasn't bleeding at all. But we walked in the woods here, took his track in, and there was, as you saw, there were dozens of other deer. We were lucky. We took his track. We could separate it from the other ones because he was walking like he was hurt. He was dragging a leg. We got him here. He made it in here about a couple hundred yards, and he's laying here, and he's beautiful. He's about what we figured. He's a tall, narrow, heavy 8-pointer. Here he is. Look at this. And he was out there chasing does. He's obviously still rutting. Look at this. Here's our Wyoming whitetail that we watched come for, gosh, how far, Lance? A quarter of a mile, half a mile across the field. We had just passed up a buck that came out of the creek bottom right in front of us. I looked off to the west, and here comes this deer trucking across the plowed field about a half a mile away, and I said, guess what, buddy? We're about to get blessed. Straight 8-pointer, good brows, narrow, tall, fairly heavy. It's Thanksgiving Day here in northeast Wyoming, hunting with Mike Watkins, Trophies Plus Outfitters, guide Tom Baker. Killed a great deer in Montana yesterday morning, and this one this afternoon. Shot him about 2 o'clock this afternoon, 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I mean the deer were out in force. So, you're watching In Pursuit TV. Cameraman Lance Tangen and I, how about we go back and get some turkey, buddy?